starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you for joining me. Apologies for coming in late. Of course, my computer decides to restart right before we go live. Thank you for being here. I am glad you're here on Story Time. And yes, we're going to the zoo today. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're here. What's your favorite animal to see at the zoo? And of course, today too, what instrument do you think your animals would play at the zoo? Thank you so much for joining in today. Glad you're here. We're bringing in a brand new book from Jonathan Marshall, and this one is called Me and My Kazoo at the Zoo. Yes, a beautiful one indeed, one that hopefully will make you laugh, give you some laughter this morning. Definitely a good one to follow along. Thank you so much for joining in. Find it where you find books, and this one is illustrated by Derry, Maulana. And of course, you remember that Jonathan Marshall has brought us I'll be right there. And also, oh my goodness, I did this yesterday too. I forgot the other one. Oh, and Does It Rain? Does It Rain Food? And that one was also a classic one, definitely, that makes you laugh. Thank you so much for joining in and welcome to Story Time. I am glad you're here. Please, as always, let me know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. So happy to be here together on Story Time. Thank you so much. And of course, too, out here in Oakland, it is still gray, but the sun should be coming out. I think today we might be at 62. We were at 80 degrees yesterday. It was pretty hot out here in Oakland. I hope today is slightly cooler than that. Thank you so much for joining in. How is it where you are? Yes, indeed. Is it gray? Is it rainy? Or is it nice, bright, and blue? Thank you so much for being here and welcome to Story Time. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready for a story. Good morning to you, Amanda. How are you doing? And say we're on time today. Well, you were way on time, way ahead of me today, too. Good morning to you, Bia. How are you doing today? From Gray, Seattle. We don't have kazoos, but we have recorders, so I'm going to break those out for the kids today. Yay! Yes, let's do that. Thank you so much for joining in. Enjoy playing them. What instruments do people play out there? Thank you. We'd love to know here at Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. And did you ask what I play? I play the radio. FM is my instrument. Thank you so much for joining in. Please do share what you play and of course indeed what your favorite animals are. Thank you so much for joining in. I actually love the snake. I'm afraid of snakes. I will get nowhere near them, but if they're somewhere enclosed or somewhere I can watch from a distance, I will watch. But I do love snakes. I think they're just fascinating animals. Thank you for joining in Storytime. Amanda West, how are you doing today? Good morning to you. Sarah and Nathan in rainy Illinois. It's gloomy outside, but Storytime and friends are helping us to bring sunshine inside. Oh my goodness. Couldn't hear better words today. Thank you so much for sharing that. I am glad we're here to brighten your day. Welcome to Storytime and thank you for being here. And of course, we do have a wonderful book indeed. Me and My Kazoo at the Zoo. Thank you for joining in. Good morning to you, April Booker. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Of course, I'm glad you're still able to join us this morning out in Orange County. Thank you, Alicia Lindley. And how are you doing today? And Jemison, how are you? I hope that your sleep is going well, and I hope that you can catch story time later on, of course. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Sending you love and hugs, lots and lots of hugs. Thank you so much for joining in. You say it is gray so far out where you are. Sounds a little bit like my Oakland right here. I hope that our sunshine comes out too very soon. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda, yes. The radio. No, I love drums. I love drums. Not the electric drums, the African drum. I love those. Yeah, and I took a few classes of those. But yeah, no, it's mostly the radio. Thank you so much for joining in. What do you play? What the other instruments do people play out there? Good morning to you, Pamela Courtney. A little late. YouTube is incorporating. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Waving a sunny hello from Braylon and Chad from Nakitosh, Louisiana. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you were able to switch, whether it's to Facebook to get us and be here. I'm glad you're here with us. We welcome you to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm glad you're here. You have not missed the story yet. We have not started. I was on Zambian time, and of course, we're here though, ready for a story. And this one is the brand new book from Jonathan Marshall, and it is illustrated by Derry Maulana. And this one is called Me and My Kazoo at the Zoo. Yes, are you ready for this one? Thank you so much for joining us today. What instruments do you play? What are your favorite animals? Yes, for me, it's snake, a little bit of drum, African drum, and of course, just love listening to all kinds of music, all kinds of instruments. Love to hear people that can play. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, we'll be right back after this short message, and then we'll be ready for our story. Get comfortable, get cozy, grab everything that you need, and join in the story today. We'll be right back after this message.
How you doing? This is Jonathan Marshall. I'm author of the books I'll Be Right There, Does It Rain Food, and also on the way, Me and My Kazoo at the Zoo. And you're here with Storytime with Mr. Lamata.
Thank you, Jonathan Marshall. And of course, in that he says, coming on the way, me and my kazoo at the zoo. Well, it is here right now, right here on Storytime. Yes, it is out, the very latest from Jonathan Marshall. I hope you are ready for this one. Here we go. And of course, if everybody is having trouble with YouTube today, apologies, and hopefully that everything is straightened out and we get the signal loud and clear. Thank you, Auntie Anne. You play the clarinet together with Pamela Courtney. Oh my goodness. Maybe we should have had an instrument day. Play some instruments today together. See the cacophony that we would create. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And let us imagine that also in the book as we read together. What is happening? What is going to happen at the zoo with this kazoo? All right, here we go. Me and my kazoo at the zoo. Written by Jonathan Marshall and illustrations by Derry Maulana. And this one is read with permission and published by Jonathan Marshall. A big thank you to them for allowing us to share this one right here on Storytime. Are you ready? Oh. Me and My Kazoo at the Zoo. Written by Jonathan Marshall, illustrated by Derry Maulana. Well, this book Jonathan dedicates to his family. I'm dedicating it to you this morning. I think it is a happy book, and I wish everybody smiles. All right. Mom, it's sunny outside. What should we do? Well, little one, we are going on a family trip to the zoo. Oh, who loves going to the zoo? You too? Yeah, me too. Oh, we'll see you there. Let's make sure to pack snacks, water, and blankets too. Okay, Mom, and I will make sure to bring my kazoo. bring your kazoo, what instrument would you take to the zoo? I like to bring my kazoo everywhere with me. Will the animals like it? I guess we'll have to wait and see. What do you think? Will the animals like the kazoo? Mom, what do you think all the animals would do when I bring my kazoo to the zoo? I wonder if they would follow me and sing and dance with their own instruments too. What do you think? Oh. I bet the giraffe plays guitar and the hippo plays the harp. What do you think? Does the guitar sound like a giraffe instrument? How about the harp and the hippo? Will the tiger play the tuba while I'm singing with the shark? Oh, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. Wow, will the tiger play the tuba while I am singing with the shark? Can the koala play the keyboard while the bear plays the bass? Oh, can you hear that sound of the bass? Doom, 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 doom. How can the monkey play the maracas while stuffing bananas in his face? Oh my goodness. Monkey, one thing at a time. This multitasking won't work right now. Oh. Will the duck play the drums and the panda play the piano? Now there's my group playing the drums. Yes, duck, let's play the drums together. Will the duck play the drums and the panda play the piano? Will the elephant practice a dance with the camel? Oh, what kind of dance do you think it would be? Would you join in? Can we get all the animals together and start a band? What a great idea! I bet people would love our show as they cheer in the stands. Would you cheer for that band? Would you be a part of that band? Oh my. Look at this, the little ducklings. Oh my goodness. Cute. We could be called Mr. Kazoo and the Few from the Zoo. What do you think of that name? What would you call the band? We could have the snakes play salsa and the bears play the blues. Oh. I want to join in on everything. I want to salsa. I want to play the blues too. The Jaguars could play jazz and the Penguins could play pop. Oh, watch out, BTS. You have competition. The Penguins are coming. And close it out with the Turtles and Rabbits playing rock. Oh. What would you play? Oh my goodness. Everyone would clap and cheer as we take a bow. Mom, I am ready to go to the zoo right now. Oh my, this promises to be a fun day at the zoo. That sounds so exciting. Let's get going to the zoo. But can I play? Plus your dad, your brother, and your sister too? Of course they can be in our band. Oh my. Sure, but you will need your own instruments. I only have one kazoo. One kazoo indeed. You have to bring your own instruments. Fun time at the zoo. Oh, the end. And of course, there's a little lesson at the back. 4 easy steps on learning how to play the kazoo. Thank you so much for joining in story time today. I hope you enjoyed it, and of course you did. I hope you had a good laugh from that one. Me and my kazoo at the zoo, the very latest from Jonathan Marshall, and this one is illustrated by Derry Maulana. Thank you for joining us on story time. I hope you enjoyed it. It is indeed a wonderful book, and I love it. I've been reading it here. Practicing for this, getting ready for story time with you all, and it's just been fun, and I hope that also came out to you and you enjoyed the book. And of course you can find it where you find books. Ask for it at your local library. Thank you so much for joining in story time today. Absolutely glad that we're here together, and of course don't take anything for granted. It is good to be here together, and after all the fun at the zoo, tomorrow we're back, and oh my goodness, we'll be trying to fight that boredom. The boring book is back. This one coming to you from Shinsuke Yoshitake, and of course we will be reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. So please join us tomorrow. If you want to be bored, join us, and we'll read the boring book together and see if maybe we will have fun. Just maybe we might. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you for joining in today. I'm glad you're here. That's what story time is all about. Sharing books, reading together, and of course, sharing laughter together as well. I love this community and I love what we've built. Thank you so much for joining in and for making story time what it is indeed. Thank you to everybody that is joining in today. Glad you are here. Oh, the clarinet players, oh, the recorder players, oh, the drum players, the bass players, the radio players. You are welcome here to story time. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad you are here. Ron, good to see you here on story time. I'm glad you were able to join in story time today. Good morning to you. And of course, Kai, good morning to you. Sending you hugs as well. Of course, love you guys so much. Thank you for joining in. I am glad you were here to join us on story time. Getting ready for school, I hope, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Pamela Courtney, Chad wants to share that he thought the story was a fun one, especially the funny ending. Right. Thank you. You know what, Chad? I am getting your review and sending it to Jonathan Marshall, and he'll be sharing that because I'm sure he'll be very happy to hear that you approve of this book. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, to hear what you thought about it. I appreciate it. You know, you are a good judge of stories, and I love it. Thank you, buddy, for sharing. And of course, please do share always your thoughts on these books so we see which ones we can bring back to story time and indeed get that feedback back to the authors and creators. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate you out in sunny Nakitosh today. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. What a fun story indeed. And you're ready for a zoo adventure now. I used to play violin, but I'm sure the animals do not want to hear me. Give yourself credit. I'm sure it is still there. It's like riding a bike. I'm sure you get back right on. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope that we're all going to brush up those instruments, brush up our skills, and maybe try out later today. Thank you so much for joining in story time. I will indeed try out an African drum again today and just see where I am, how rusty it is right now. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you out there, and I hope that you have a wonderful day indeed. Thank you. This has been story time. Tomorrow we're back, remember, for the boring book. Get ready. Come here, be bored with me today, tomorrow. So I'll be excited. I'm excited for this one, but I know that by the end of it, we'll probably all just be sitting like that. But that will be the whole point tomorrow. The boring book coming to you on Storytime, Shinsuke Yoshitake, and of course, Chronicle Books. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. A big thank you, of course, to Jonathan Marshall for allowing us to share this book here on Storytime. Me and My Kazoo at the zoo. Thank you for being here. To everybody that joined in Storytime, sending you hugs and love. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And remember, please, that you can find Storytime live right here on Facebook and YouTube, which is acting up today. You can find us on Storytime and YouTube live every weekday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and of course at 11 a.m. Pacific time for the same recording. But you can also always find us in our archives on Facebook, YouTube, and also at times on Instagram. So please do find us. And of course, you can also find us through our website at storytimewithmrlimada.com. So please find us in all those spaces. And of course, join us maybe one of these days for a live event somewhere near you. Keep ears to the ground. We may be near you very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad we're here together. And of course, I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with an exciting book. Or is it? The boring book is back on Storytime. Join me for this one, coming to you from Shinsuke Yoshitake. And of course, that one also coming from Chronicle Books of San Francisco. I just love saying that name, Shinsuke Yoshitake. Thank you so much for joining in. Please enjoy brushing up your skills, brushing up those playing instruments today, and get to have some fun. And of course, if you do manage to go to the zoo, please have fun, and remember to be responsible and respectful to the animals when we are out there. And of course, a big thank you to all the animal reserve places that are helping animals, rescue places, and so many other places that are making sure that species are protected, endangered species are protected, and that we are learning about these animals, and of course sharing this earth, sharing the environment with the different animals that are sharing the planet with us. Thank you to everybody, and I will see you again tomorrow for more story time. And this time I promise not on Zambian time, because I'm excited for that boring book. Bye-bye.
Just can't wait to read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some with people who look like me, others very different from the way that I look and think. Read me all of your stories. Read me all of your stories. Some stories from far away, others right here in my neighborhood. Story time. Ooh. Story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait.